Watching football is a lot of fun, but it's even better when you got some skin in the game. You guys hear me talk about for weeks, months, even years, mybookie.ag is the place to go, whether you're expert or rookie. Here's what you do. If you want some real entertainment, make a parlay. Pick 3 teams to win. Hit all 3. Turn $100 into $600. So much to bet on. College basketball, football, NBA, NHL, custom props, even esports. Man, friggin' esports. It's amazing. And recommended these guys for years because, trust them, great reviews. They've been in the business for years and years and years. And the mobile site, super easy to use for on-the-go betting. And if you sign up this week, MyBookie will give you a 50% deposit bonus. Jumpstart that bankroll. And also make sure to follow BetMyBookie on Twitter. They personally respond to every mention in DM. Not to mention that they've also given away more than $10,000 in free money to their followers this football season. So don't miss out on one of the best sporting weeks of the year. It's always great. Log on to mybookie.ag right now. Use promo code FTW and get 50% deposit bonus. That's promo code FTW. You play it, you win, you get paid.
And whose team is this? Is this your team? Or is this your daddy's team?
Thanks for listening to the Dad Mode Podcast, common sense parenting in a politically correct world. Here's your host, Andy Carlson.
Welcome back to the Dad Mode Podcast, Common Sense Parenting, Politically Correct World. I'm your host, Andy Carlson, at Andy Carlson Show on the Twitter machine. I'm a father. I have no idea what I'm doing, but you and either they're chiefy. So let's try and learn something together today. The website is dadmodepod.com. If you want to tweet us, at dadmodepod, or just use the hashtag dadmode. And yeah, hi, howdy, welcome in. Getting closer to Christmas, and that means that it's the winter time, so kids are starting to come down with every single I got the black lung, like every single sniffle, sneeze, phlegm, blah blah blah. And we've gotten pretty lucky in that Margaret's been sick maybe one time where like super down and out, just like fluids and sleeping and watching TV, and then you're just lethargy, right? But you see a lot of parents, whether it's your Facebook friends or Twitter, Instagram, where kids are just getting sick all the freaking time, and that's the cliche, isn't it? That schools, preschool, Chuck E. Cheese, ball pit, like they're all just germ factories, but I actually think that it would help. It would benefit because you're exposed. You're immunized, for lack of a better term, because your body is used to it. I mean, like all the talkers of when the Europeans came over to America and the Native Americans weren't exposed and hadn't built up a tolerance, or their bodies just didn't know how to fight off all these European diseases that were coming in, and that was a big reason why there was a big die-off of Native American populations, whether it be North America, South America, Caribbean, etc. So it does make sense where, like, if you had a kid, and not making light of Bubble Boy, but if you had a kid that was just never exposed to anything, any sort of germs, viruses, illnesses, and then you just tear him loose on the world, that kid's going to be down for the count in like a day. He's going to be, and I'm sure there's other like meta conversations you can have, like, well, this counts as well as being exposed to culture and politics and news and stuff. It's like, yeah, maybe to a degree. Like if you're like if you completely ignore the news, and every single day you listen to Tony Robbins, and every single YouTube video is cute cat videos, and then you watch cable news and are on Twitter for like half a day, you will die. Like your head will explode. Yeah. But back to the original point. We are in cold and flu season, and talking about how Margaret's in preschool now, and she's been going to childcare for about 2 years now, and she's really gotten, I don't want to say like it's good, but it's like why there's so many peanut allergies nowadays. Now, yeah, for sure, they're looking for them more now, but I feel like parents either depriving kids of peanuts, maybe that brings it on. And it's not a laughing matter because some of these kids are legit life and death. Like if they come in contact with a peanut, they need an EpiPen or they will die sort of situations. But you do wonder if it's the nerfing, helicopter parenting, if it's all the Purell, all those things are factoring in, or it's like all the, the mom drinking 17 Diet Cokes while she's pregnant a day. It's like that probably doesn't contribute well. It's like how when like back in the 50s and we used to think that smoking was good for you. It's like it just clears out the lung pipes and stuff, because now we know differently. Like artificial sweeteners and stuff freak me out, but again, that's another podcast for another day. But the whole, because we'll get emails and texts from the school now, or it'd be like, there is don't worry, there's a minor flu epidemic going on now, or some kids, or there's X number of kids that are out sick, and you'll get the subtle passive aggressive reminders like, remember when your kid has cold or flu-like symptoms, keep them home from school. That whole thing, everything with the upward inflection. And because it seems like odd, right? In a world where parents are super uber protective of the kids, like they'll just trot them out there with like, Junior, he was up all night, he didn't sleep, he's got it coming out of both directions, and it's like, he'll be fine. Now he's got to learn today. I gotta go make my hot yoga class, sort of deal. But I don't know. It is so weird in the world of wanting to protect our kids from everything, and then some parents don't vaccinate, which that's a whole nother level of conversation. But the fact that we had smallpox and measles beat, man, and you're questioning hundreds of years of science, peer-reviewed science, anecdotal science, not even anecdotal, but actually like shown that measles eradicated, whooping cough eradicated, and some Hollywood actor or actress would be like, well, I don't know about that. And then you just confirmation biased with some very discredited medical research, which again, like research, medical research is like stats. Like if you're looking for something, you can find it, whatever. Like you can even find that, chocolate and a carton of Marlboros and a handle of Jameson every single day will be good for you. Like you can work out a study, and a very anecdotal small sample size study that will show you those things. And you can be like, well, see, there you go. Cracking open that Jameson. Actually sounds really good, but it's a whole nother thing for another day. But yeah, I can't even imagine like what it'd be like, because some of the parents in Toots' schools, like, they've sort of hinted that maybe they're, well, maybe not full anti-vaxxer, but definitely questioning what's been going on, and that's a little disconcerting, right? Because I mean, it's not even the kid's fault. Well, it's definitely not the kid's fault. It's a parent projecting some weird, random values on the kid, and I mean, if the kid doesn't get measles, it's not because of you didn't vaccinate them. It's because of herd vaxing. It's herd vaccination. It's like, say there's 20 kids in this class. One kid didn't get the shot, 19 others did, and the kid who didn't get the shot doesn't get measles because no one else has measles. It's like one of those. It's like one of those confirmation bias things. But I don't know. Like that's a whole nother episode. Just talk about like general flu and cold stuff, because I do feel like Margaret being exposed to a lot of stuff, and then also getting her the flu shot, which is a small dose of whatever strain du jour they think that could go wide pandemic style, the CDC thinks, and I do think that it's good. I do think that it's good to expose them to a lot of things. Now, you're not going to go to someone's house that has leprosy and just grab like one leprosy and what's it called? Like Huckleberry, Doc Holliday. What was the thing that he had? Was that tuberculosis? Yeah, get Doc Holliday's tuberculosis cough rag and just like smother the kid with it. Yeah, that's probably not great, but I think just not trying to protect your kid from everything. be a good way to just keep them protected. And that's meta. That goes with a lot of things. Something you shouldn't protect yourself from, though, is other quality podcasts, because if you enjoy Dad Mode Podcast, you enjoy conversations like this, you're going to love That's Gold with Steven Heitner, because, you know Steve. You know Steve. He's the Seinfeld fan. Jerry's annoying comedian buddy Kenny Banya, who coined the term That's Gold, Jerry, because you remember that. We remember that show. It's great. On That's Gold, Steve is joined by co-host Rich Johnson to talk about everything guys love: sports, betting, movies, comedy, food, drink, music, Vegas, and more 5 days a week. It's like having a conversation with your buddies at the bar, a bar where famous guests often show up. Check out That's Gold with Steven Heitner on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in. It's fantastic. You'll get a chuckle out of it. So That's Gold with Steven Heitner. All right. So as far as we've been blessed, knock on all the wood that we have avoided the flu, especially going in both directions, because that's super draining on the parents, because you got the kid with chugging Pedialyte and Gatorade and well, not Gatorade, but Pedialyte and whatever have you, just trying to keep them hydrated. And it's super scary because thankfully we haven't had that scary hospital emergency room IR incident where it's you're super scared about the kid. It's like, well, what if this isn't the flu? Like, what if this is something else? And blah, blah, blah. So, again, thank God, knock on wood, we haven't had that. But also, it's like, Margaret showed up one day, and she had some spots on her. And it turned out to be hand, foot, and mouth disease, which apparently is super common. But I was rooting for chickenpox. Like, I was straight up, let's get this out of the way. No, let's knock this baby out of the park, because I had chickenpox when I was 4, and I remember wearing the oven mitts so you couldn't scratch yourself. So that whole thing. So I was like, because if you haven't got it, doesn't it get worse, like the later on in life that you get it? So like there will be parents that will actually have chickenpox parties. I've read about that, where one kid will get it, and if they got siblings who haven't got it, or like cousins or neighbors or something like that, like they'll invite everyone over. It's like, hey, come on over. And then like crock pots of food will show up, and like lasagnas, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, we're having a chickenpox party, because most of the parents have already had it, so it's of no consequence there. But just have the kids get it and get it completely out of the way, and have them be uncomfortable for 3-4 days. Then you don't have to worry about it forever. And I understand it. I sort of get that mentality. But and who knows? Maybe Margaret is just one of those people who doesn't get sick. And I know I'm tempting fate here to the nth degree. Is just like, oh, Margaret never gets sick, and then we'll have 2 weeks right during Christmas of blah. Also, think about it. Margaret has only thrown up once that I remember. Beyond the whole baby normal spitting up stuff, which is weird, right? Because you think kids mostly have weak stomachs, mostly have weak immune systems, and they're like, blah, all the time. I don't know, Margaret. So I don't know. Maybe she's just tough. Like, see, for me getting sick, I get sick maybe, I get like sick, where, there's many degrees of sick. Like, there's sick where it's like, oh, I got a cough, I got a runny nose. And then sick where it's like, this is kind of annoying, but I'm not going to miss work. And then there's flat out on your back sick, like done, finito. And I get the latter sick like once every 4 years, maybe. Like it'll be it's never flu either. It's it feels like it's a 24-hour bug, and it feels like mono, where you're tired, you're achy, you're just down, you have no energy, and that's it. And I'll get that like once every 4 years for a day. Like that is legit it. And I don't know, maybe Margaret inherited that, where I don't really get colds, I don't really get flus, I don't really get anything like that. So I don't know, maybe it's possible. But as far as like prevention, we don't do anything out of the ordinary, like other than flu shots. We try to get her to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Fruits are super easy. Like right now, oranges and those little cutie things, those little small, the tangerines, pretty sure, but easy peel. and lots of vitamin C, and also like lots of natural vitamin C, where it does have the sugar in the the fructose in the fruit, but also it's got like the fiber. It's got how nature wants you to digest things. It's not like a straight up shot of orange juice, or that's just, especially you get orange juice no pulp, like you may as well just be drinking a Coke, like straight up. All right. Or like even those vitamin C packets where they're full of sugar. You get way too much vitamin C that your body can't fully absorb, and it's a whole nother episode. But get her to eat cutie a day, because she's a cutie. Also, she loves bananas, apples, berries. Also really good with the antioxidants. And also, what we do is, because you're never going to get a kid to eat a green vegetable. Well, she does like peas, except, we're talking about like leafy, cruciferous vegetables. Like she's not grabbing a piece of broccoli. It's like, nom, nom, nom. That ain't happen. So what we do is we take a small handful of spinach, like not enough where she'll know that something is up, but we'll throw it in the smoothie with some berries, half a banana, some coconut cream or almond milk, and she's good. She's good to go. She's like, this is delicious. And she looks forward to it. So just sneaky ways of sort of tricking your kid into eating well, because, I mean, she sees berries and like oranges as a treat. And of course, we're not depriving her of like treats. She still gets fruit snacks or goldfishies or one of those squeezy apples every now and then. But just a good way. But we'll see what happens. And again, I'm completely just like poking the bear of karma. I'm just like, Margaret's gonna be out for a month. So we'll see what happens. If you enjoy the show, tell a friend, spread the word. dadmodepod.com. Show's available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and also we're on Twitter. I'm at Andy Carlson Show, and the show is at dadmodepod. But until next time, be a man, be a father, go dad mode, and we'll smell you later.
Think the episode you just heard is worth $1? Well, send it our way. Visit dadmodepod.com/support to find out how. Be a man, be a father. Go dad mode. The music is created and produced by Deeb. To hear more of his tracks, visit soundcloud.com/Deeb.